Africans must ask, why does the tap not have water? They must ask us as their public representatives, because the taps don't have water in many places. And they must, no. They must then say, you know,
Order, honorable
the
members.
taps don't have water because there is either corruption, there are water tanks, and we see it in our own communities, and be able to point out exactly what is happening on the ground themselves.
The notorious 740 million rand national dialogue has angered many South Africans, as a few months ago the ANC wanted to increase tax and also wanted to increase VAT, as they claim that there is not enough money in the coffers to cover certain aspects, but now all of a sudden have close to R1 billion to spend on a dialogue. Ramaphosa, while speaking in parliament, claimed that the national dialogue is important because even though it is well known and well documented why service delivery is not happening, he needs to hear it from the people in the community themselves as to why corruption is happening and who is doing it, so that just like they did with the Zondo Commission, they can take that information and know who to protect and what to do better in order to disguise all the wrongdoing that has been done by the corrupt cadres of the African National Congress. With millions of South Africans holding on for dear life and failing to pay the expensive electricity, water, municipal rates, food, petrol, and many other expenses like healthcare and education, as public education and healthcare is substandard. It will be interesting to see how long South Africans will tolerate Ramaphosa patronizing them and playing in their face and acting like he does not know what is wrong in the country and South Africans are not intelligent enough to see what is happening, with many claiming that Ramaphosa is playing delay tactics in order to see what will happen in the December National General Council, which is the ANC's half-term report, where at the midpoint of the term they will review the president and other leaders' position and see if they will remove him or whether he will continue. Many claim that Ramaphosa does not want to ruffle any feathers in the African National Congress and wants to buy time until that process is complete, where in his last 2 years he will show ANC cadres what he's really made of and will field his candidates and push them to the forefront, so that after his term is done he will have his own people running the African National Congress and protect himself from prosecution and still have his tenterhooks in the governance of the Republic of South Africa. With Thabo Mbeki and many other powerful foundations refusing to participate in the process of the national dialogue, which started with the National Convention, which was a disaster in itself, as many ANC leaders left early before they could be held to account and embarrassed by the citizens. Thabo Mbeki has refused to participate in that process and claims that he will wait for the real process to start, where things will be done properly and ANC leaders can be held to account in the proper way, where after speaking there will be written documentation and commitments, where before certain things happen the ANC commits that they will perform certain acts like arresting those who have been implicated in state capture and firing people who have clouds of corruption hanging over their head, instead of speaking only for the national dialogue notes and reports to be shoved in the cabinet, in the presidency, never to be seen again, and for the ANC cadres to continue business as usual. While South Africa, a once respected country, is being humiliated by Uganda, who dares to eliminate soldiers and even brag about it, and dare Ramaphosa to do something about it, where the United States, who used to love South Africa and beg them for their minerals and other goods, is now ignoring them and going for other alternatives like the war-torn Congo, where instead of talking about the Cape Flats or Jugu Line in Pretoria or Eastern Cape, where firearms and unaliving on people is prevalent, instead they would rather talk about a faraway land in Gaza, where and even go to court on issues that have nothing to do with South Africa, but take no action about the issues of violence and gangs in the Republic of South Africa.
Dialogue. I asked the people of South Africa a number of questions that they should also participate in answering. And a wave of criticism has come my way when I sought to elicit real participation, so that as South Africans we must ask ourselves those very important questions.